This page screams 90s N64 excitement, practically bursting with upcoming blockbusters. Front and center are the beloved Banjo and Kazooie, giving us a tantalizing first look at Banjo-Tooie, their sizzling sequel, on page 6. The dynamic duo certainly looks ready to bounce back into action. Meanwhile, Pokémon Yellow gets a massive shout-out, not only featuring a sparking Pikachu but also promising a free 16-page mini-mag inside. Perfect for all you budding Pokémon masters. For those who like their platformers a bit more, hilarious, there's a first play of Rare's Conquer on page 16, complete with a screenshot of the money-hungry squirrel. And if that wasn't enough, Zelda fans can look forward to an awesome new quest on page 74, undoubtedly Ocarina of Time teasing us. The magazine proudly declares itself official, always first, biggest and the best, promising news and previews, new game exclusives, every N64 game tested, and even best Pokémon info alongside most N64 tips. Plus, there's a cracking chance to win new, with 100 news must be won, on page 67. All this for a mere £2.95, keeping us glued to our N64s in July, issue 94. It's a proper treasure trove of gaming goodness. This page is a vibrant, full-page advert for Coca-Cola, featuring a bottle bursting with bubbles that cleverly form images of people, and an Enjoy bottle cap. It perfectly captures that refreshing, effervescent feeling. This page boldly declares Nintendo Official Magazine as the UK's biggest-selling Nintendo 64 and Nintendo Mag, laying down 6 promises to back up that rather confident claim. They vow to give you the scoop on new games and products first, pack in more screenshots than anyone else, and ensure their mag is always easy to digest. Plus, they reckon all their tips, moves and cheats are spot on, their writers are utterly trustworthy, and frankly you'd be daft to buy any other magazine. Below these lofty promises you'll find the energetic Team Nintendo crew themselves, a proper bunch of enthusiasts including Alex, Rich, Mark, Tim, Barry, Dave, Sean, Nicola and Tamsin, all looking ready to rumble. At the bottom it's all about getting in touch. They've got the postal address, a dedicated phone line for gaming tips, only in the afternoon mind, and a handy list of email addresses for everything from general Pokémon queries to specific Game Boy questions and game reviews. They even include a handy reminder to ensure you're emailing the right person. No faffing about then. There's also a peek at the mag's cover, teasing big features on the likes of Banjo-Tooie, Pokémon Yellow, Conquer, and Zelda. Looks like another packed issue. This page, the magnificent cover itself, boldly declares, only in this magazine, and frankly, who are we to argue? Front and center, we've got the lovable Oaf Banjo from Banjo-Tooie, teasing us with promises of the first ever playtest, lush levels, ace minigames, and hilarious characters. You'll want to flip straight to page 6 for all the juicy details on that one. Just below, prepare yourselves for the arrival of Conker's Bad Fur Day, heralded as the rudest N64 quest ever. We're advised to plug your ears, which suggests things are about to get delightfully un-Nintendo-like. All the raunchy details await on page 16. Over on the right, the game news section is bursting at the seams, promising the latest and greatest. This includes a sneak peek at Dinosaur Planet, Hey You Pikachu, Mega Man 64, Mickey's Speedway USA, Pokémon Puzzle League, WWF No Mercy, and the rather ominous Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, complete with a rather dark and intriguing screenshot. Clearly, there's a lot to unpack on page 74. It's clear this issue is absolutely packed with what every self-respecting N64 and Game Boy Color fan needs to know. This page, the bustling heart of the magazine, lays out a tantalizing spread of what's on offer. Over on the left, the reviews section kicks things off, promising to cover every new game out this month. The spotlight here is on Taz Express, inviting us to join the maddest munching member of the Looney Tunes for a hilarious platforming adventure. Further down, basketball fans are treated to NBA in the Zone 2000, bringing more courtside action to the N64. And for those who like their reviews comprehensive, the Total Test section, seemingly fronted by the formidable Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark, rounds up all things Nintendo. Meanwhile, the Blagfest competition is ready to test your wits, offering a chance to win some smashing goodies, including merchandise from The Simpsons, Star Wars, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and even WWF Maximum Sweat figures. Then, for aspiring pros, the Game Guides section promises to make you the best in the business, with a full guide for Perfect Dark and dedicated sections for reader-submitted tips and high scores. Perfect for showing off your gaming prowess, perhaps even with the mischievous Wario cheering you on. But wait, there's more! A free Game Boy magazine is bundled in, highlighting the glorious arrival of Pokémon Yellow, declared the best Pokémon adventure yet to explode onto your Game Boy. It even has its own Blagfest within, packed with tricky teasers for more Pokegoodies. This issue is clearly bursting with essential info for every Nintendo enthusiast. This page delivers a cracking preview of Banjo-Tooie, the highly anticipated sequel from legendary developer Rare, arriving this October. Prepare for another mind-blowing 3D platform adventure as everyone's favorite bear and bird combo burst back onto the scene. The feature promises that Banjo and Kazooie will explore 8 awesome new worlds, face off against even bigger baddies, and unleash a barrage of devastating new moves. What's more, for the first time, our dynamic duo can split up and tackle challenges separately, adding a whole new layer of tactical gameplay. And if that wasn't enough, Banjo-Tooie is introducing a brand new multiplayer deathmatch mode, ensuring plenty of frenzied fun with your mates. The accompanying screenshots show off the game's vibrant world, with Banjo and Kazooie in action, alongside a humorous shot of the gang chilling out with a game of cards. Clearly they're enjoying a brief respite before the adventure of a lifetime kicks off. With Conker also on the horizon, it's a golden age for N64 platform fans. This page kicks off with a cracking full-page shot of Banjo himself, looking utterly determined and ready for a proper rumble in the jungle. As if you needed any more convincing after that last page, the magazine boldly proclaims, "Rare has done it again, Banjo's back and ready for action, in one of the best platform games ever seen." It's a massive statement for a big game like Banjo-Tooie, but given Rare's legendary track record, you just know they're not messing about. This striking image perfectly sets the scene for the epic platforming adventure that awaits us. This page dives into the plot and characters of Banjo-Kazooie. It reveals that the story involves Gruntilda's sisters, the Weird Sisters, and hints at the challenges players will face. We're introduced to Banjo, the lovable bear, and his spirited bird companion Kazooie, highlighting their unique abilities. The page also mentions Mumbo Jumbo, the witch doctor, and his role in the game. It explains how the duo can separate and recombine, with Kazooie capable of gliding and Banjo able to use his backpack to breathe underwater. The overall tone is enthusiastic, setting the stage for an exciting adventure. This page is a full-page advert showcasing 3 Game Boy Color titles from Psy: Alfred's Adventure, Cool Bricks, and Swiv. It features colorful box art and brief descriptions of each game, promising platforming fun, arcade action, and a shoot-'em-up experience. This page dives into some of the new mechanics and enemies in Banjo-Kazooie, with a particular focus on Kazooie's new egg-based attacks. We're shown the blue egg, which is a simple but effective projectile, the red egg, a more powerful explosive, and the white egg, which can freeze enemies in their tracks, perfect for taking down those particularly troublesome foes. The article also highlights the game's improved camera system, which is a welcome change, making exploration and combat a much smoother experience. And it wouldn't be Banjo-Kazooie without some rather peculiar bosses, would it? We get a glimpse of a Chomposaurus and a rather intimidating prehistoric monster, promising some bigger battles to test our skills. It sounds like they've really upped the ante for this sequel. This page is a full-page advert for Virgin Cola's iCan promotion, offering discounts on games, music, and holidays. It features cartoon characters and calls to collect ring pulls or tokens. This page dives into the action-packed gameplay of Banjo-Tooie, focusing on 2 distinct areas: arena action and shoot like a pro. In the arena section, it explains how players are thrown into a first-person blaster scenario, urging them to utilize cover and strafing to survive. The screenshots demonstrate navigating corridors and engaging enemies, with tips on avoiding corner ambushes and taking down foes. The Shoot Like a Pro segment highlights the game's targeting system, which aids in accurate egg throwing. It emphasizes using the sight to aim for the enemy's weak spots for quicker takedowns, and suggests aiming for the bullseye in minigames for higher scores. Screenshots show zoomed-in views and target reticles. The Unbelievable World section teases the variety of environments players will explore, from underwater cities to a fiery volcano. It warns of specific dangers like giant pufferfish and menacing mechanical machines lurking in industrial settings. The accompanying images depict these treacherous locales and the formidable enemies within them, like a ferocious cleaner that spits and sucks. It really sounds like a wild ride. This page introduces some new faces in Banjo-Tooie. We've got Bigfoot, a rather large chap who'll knock your stuffing out if you're not careful. Then there are the Klungus, tough buffoons who apparently wear plasters as an indication of their weak spot, perhaps a fashion statement. Bumble, on the other hand, are buzzing slingers that you'll need to target carefully to take down. And don't forget Trash Can, a helpful old bean tin, and Jolly Roger, a pirate who's ready to offer some advice. The page also features the Game Boy Color, with a rather glowing endorsement calling it as close as you'll get to perfection. It boasts that a game you absolutely must own on the Nintendo Pro is rated 93%, and other games are getting 90% from GamesMaster and 91% from official Nintendo magazine. It looks like the Game Boy Color was quite the hit, and this issue is building the hype for Banjo-Kazooie's release on the 30th of June 2000, showcasing some manic machines and vehicles you'll be piloting. This page is all about the multitude of games and secrets waiting to be discovered in Banjo-Kazooie. We're treated to a Games Galore section, showcasing various mini-games like Sack Race, Saucer of Peril, and Stony Kickabout. The Unlock the Secrets part teases Watter's Cave and Shark Food, hinting at hidden areas and challenges for those who've mastered the original. Plus, there's a glimpse of 4-player fun, with a sneak peek at the frantic deathmatch action, even mentioning the possibility of playing as Mumbo Jumbo. It sounds like Banjo and Kazooie are back with more zany adventures than ever. This page is a full-page advertisement for Tomb Raider on the Game Boy Color, featuring Lara Croft in action. It's promoting the game as a big adventure, launching on the 30th of June 2000, promising 99% Game Boy and being as close as you'll get to perfection. This page is a fantastic full-page preview of Conker's Bad Fur Day, a game that truly lives up to its big game and rude billing. Developed by Rare, this 3D platformer is slated for a December release on N64. The article hypes it as the rudest and crudest badass coming to N64, urging players to cover your ears as Conker is about to take center stage. We're told the beloved squirrel has undergone a complete transformation, becoming an all-kicking, all-punching superhero. The accompanying screenshots showcase Conker in his new, more mature guise, and hint at the mad characters and terrifying bosses players will encounter in his superb quest. This certainly looks like a game that's not afraid to push boundaries. This page is a full-page advert for Conker's Bad Fur Day, showcasing the titular squirrel in a vibrant yellow environment, hinting at the game's colorful and possibly outrageous content. This page dives into the outrageous plot and controls of Conker's Bad Fur Day. We learn that Conker wakes up with a severe hangover and no memory of the previous night, thrust into a battle against cartoonish enemies. The game boasts hilarious enemies and top-class baddies, with Conker's moves explained, including the 3D stick for movement and the A and Z trigger combination for higher jumps. It also highlights a unique feature where beehives transform into an awesome bee-blasting weapon. The reviewer seems impressed by the game's potential for humor and action, particularly the inventive combat scenarios. This page gives us a glimpse into the chaotic world of Conker's Bad Fur Day, focusing on two distinct gameplay segments. First, we see Conker taking a dip in the water, where he'll have to contend with underwater creatures and avoid exploding foes. It's crucial to keep an eye on Conker's oxygen levels, as failing to resurface for air will lead to a rather damp demise. The second segment showcases Conker lining up a shot with his sniper rifle, ready to take down a particularly nasty-looking bug right between the eyes. It seems our foul-mouthed squirrel is prepared for some explosive insect carnage, which the reviewer notes will be quite a messy affair. The page also teases further action, urging us to quick flick to the next page to see Conker's awesome attacks in action. This page dives deep into the delightfully disgusting world of Conker's Bad Fur Day. We're treated to a visual guide of Conker in action, specifically focusing on his rather unusual methods of dealing with enemies. The first bit shows Conker taking aim with his let's just say fluid artillery, taking out fiery foes. It's a real splash apparently, and you'll need a steady hand to manage. The second section highlights Conker facing off against a mechanical adversary, with a speech bubble helpfully pointing out that oops is about the mildest thing this grump can say. Conker, as always, is ready to play the victim, or perhaps just the absolute menace. It's another peek into the sheer, unadulterated madness Rare has cooked up for this squirrel. This page really hammers home the sheer, unadulterated carnage that is Conker's Bad Fur Day. We're shown a rather graphic display of bloody deaths, with enemies literally exploding into a gory mess. The review highlights how the game doesn't shy away from vulgarity and violence, even comparing its bloodshed to Resident Evil 2 and calling it an ace game. There's a great shot of Conker getting riled up, with a speech bubble helpfully informing us he doesn't have to shout, implying he's on the verge of losing it. It's a truly brutal preview for what is shaping up to be one of the most outrageous games on the Nintendo 64. The bottom half of the page features two rather intense-looking characters. One with a very worried expression, staring at a sign that reads, "So we meet again, mighty Gargantua." I dread to think what that's all about. This page delves into the movie moments and multiplayer fun of Conker's Bad Fur Day. We see Conker reliving Saving Private Ryan on a beach, dodging bullets, and then facing a Godzilla-like bulldog. There's also a multiplayer segment showcasing a tank battle on a bridge. The text promises hilarious and action-packed scenarios, highlighting the game's mature humor and over-the-top action. The bottom half shows a rather humorous advert for YouAreWired.com, suggesting you stay home and game if you're not up for going out. This page previews Conker's Bad Fur Day, highlighting its transformation from a cute platformer to a mature-rated, action-packed adventure. The text describes Conker's new, rougher persona, complete with bad language and buckets of blood, and anticipates a rare classic that will be a major N64 title, even if not for younger players. We see a fearsome dragon and Conker facing off against some rather formidable bees, suggesting some epic boss battles ahead. The overall impression is of a game that's not afraid to push boundaries with its humor and violence, promising a truly unique experience. This page dives headfirst into the gaming world with new game reviews. We get the lowdown on how games are scored, from real rubbish all the way up to amazing game you must play, with a special shout out to the awesome award for games that truly shine. The star of the show is undoubtedly Taz Express, with a rather fetching £44.99 price tag and a July release. The review, penned by We Said, lauds the game for its devious puzzles, and describes it as bright, colourful and fun, which sounds like a proper treat. We also get a glimpse of the NBA in the Zone 2000, a basketball title that promises slam dunks on your N64. The page also features a colourful look at Looney Tunes, specifically Taz, who's landed himself a delivery job. It seems our favourite Tasmanian Devil is in for a hilarious and testing adventure, filled with wacky characters and platforming fun. We see Taz navigating some rather peculiar levels, including one that looks suspiciously like Mars. It's all very promising for N64 fans. This page features a cracking full-page advert for Taz Express on the Nintendo 64. It showcases the Tasmanian Devil himself, alongside Wile E. Coyote and Marvin the Martian, all looking ready for some madcap action. The text promises, "The maddest marsupial ever to grace a Looney Tunes cartoon is now appearing on N64 near you." It's a vibrant and exciting preview of what looks like a seriously fun platformer. This page dives headfirst into Taz Express on the Nintendo 64 with its Deliver or Die and Mad Taz sections. The reviewer clearly thinks this game is a blast from the past, comparing it to playing through a Looney Tunes animation. We're told Taz has to deliver crates, blast through objects with his mega spin, and that he growls, spits, farts and grunts. Typical Taz really. The game features different worlds like Tasmanian Bushland, Mars and Wild West, each with its own challenges and familiar foes like Wile E. Coyote and Marvin the Martian. The Meet the Cast section assures us that cartoon fans will be in for a treat with these classic characters, and the Sounds section hilariously points out Taz's grunting, howling and farting noises are sure to raise a smile. It's shaping up to be a fantastic platformer that captures the essence of the cartoons. This page is all about the Wild West with some truly wild games. We've got South Park, a madcap shooter that'll have you dodging bombs and electric shockers, and Toy Story 2, a platformer starring Buzz and the gang. Then there's Mickey's Speedway, promising turbocharged racing fun. Don't forget Duck Dodgers, pitting Daffy against Marvin the Martian. And if that wasn't enough, there's a massive advertisement for Daikatana, the futuristic first-person shooter from John Romero, coming to N64 and Game Boy. Looks like the N64 is serving up a serious dose of cartoon chaos and shooting action. This page is a review of NBA in the Zone 2000, giving it the headline Hoop Heaven, and stating that it's time to slam dunk another basketball game into your Big N. The reviewer notes that while the first two editions were okay, this one is nothing too spectacular. They highlight the game's variety of ways to play, including exhibition and playoffs, as well as modes like three-point shootout and dunk contest. The graphics are described as a bit basic, and the player movements are noted as unrealistic, but the overall impression is positive, especially for basketball fans. It's a solid entry for the Nintendo 64, offering plenty of action for fans of the sport. This page dives into the player edit and camera features of NBA in the Zone 2000. Apparently you can create some frankly absurd basketball players, described as monsters with superhuman abilities. I'm picturing players who can dunk from the halfway line. It also highlights the various camera angles available, from a standard default to an overhead view that lets you see everything. The reviewer seems to be having a bit of fun with the player creation, noting you can even change your player's face and dominant hand. The game is also noted for its commentary, which adds an NBA flavor, but otherwise is a bit bland, and the multiplayer aspect, which promises some fun with up to 4 players. It's a solid, if not groundbreaking, NBA title for the N64, and they've given it a score of 70%. This page is a full-page advert for Pokémon Special Pikachu Edition on the Game Boy. It features the iconic Pikachu and highlights the game's connection to the cartoon series. This page is a fantastic look at the Nintendo 64, all but screaming, "Buy this system!" We've got Yoshi front and center, looking as cheerful as ever, ready to guide you through the latest N64 gear. It tells you what's hot, from rumble packs to steering wheels, and even promises the lowdown on the best games out there. Plus, there's a neat scoring system to help you separate the gems from the duds, with a special Awesome award for those truly special titles. And if you fancy a bit of a bargain, there's a mention of some older games that might be worth rummaging for. It's a real treat for any 64 fan. This page is a treasure trove of upcoming N64 titles. We've got Gotta Get 'em, which highlights games coming this year and next, with a special focus on Perfect Dark and Banjo-Tooie. The reviews are sharp and to the point, like the quip that All-Star Tennis 99 is hardly an ace, but Banjo-Kazooie is a brilliant adventure. Cruisin' World is racing ahead of its predecessor, while Diddy Kong Racing is still the king of karting. And Donkey Kong 64? It's a must-town platformer, the best in the world apparently. It's a real glimpse into what made the N64 so special. This page is a fantastic rundown of N64 games, letting you know what's worth your hard-earned cash and what's best left on the shelf. We've got a solid batch of reviews here, from the high-octane racing of Extreme G and F1 World Grand Prix 2, both looking pretty sweet, to the football fun of FIFA 98 and FIFA 99, which sound like they'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Then there's the frantic fighting of ECW Hardcore Revolution, and the alien blasting of Hybrid Heaven, plus the classic arcade action of Gauntlet Legends. Don't forget the racing thrills of Hot Wheels, and the pure carnage of Zero X, GoldenEye 007, and ISS 98. And for those who like a good story, Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko F1 Pole Position, 40 Winks, Glover, Hexen 64, and GT 64 Championship all get a mention. The reviewer is clearly impressed with F1 World Grand Prix 2, calling it the best Formula 1 racer around. They also think ISS 98 is easy to get into, and plays like a dream. This page delves into the world of Nintendo 64 gaming with a packed selection of reviews. We've got everything from the adrenaline-pumping motocross of Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000, to the solid shooting action of Jet Force Gemini. Killer Instinct Gold brings the fight with its hard characters, while Knife Edge offers a coin-op experience that, while cool, misses the mark slightly. Knockout Kings 2000 delivers some solid boxing action, and for racing fans, Lamborghini and Micro Machines offer plenty of speed. The page also looks at the memory packs available, with the Nintendo Controller Pack and the Gamester and Joytech memory cards all getting a mention, noting their reliability and storage capacity. We also get a look at Lilac Wars, a space shooter with great levels and movie-like feel, and the golf sim, Mario Golf. For party game enthusiasts, Mario Party 2 is highlighted as a brilliant experience, and Magical Tetris Challenge offers some colorful fun. Mischief Makers and Mission Impossible present platforming and puzzle solving respectively. Finally, Mortal Kombat 4 is reviewed as a comeback worthy of the 64, and Monaco GP and Monster Truck Madness offer racing thrills. The bottom section showcases some bargain buys, with GoldenEye 007 and Zero X both available for £29.99, alongside 1080° snowboarding and Super Mario 64. Banjo-Kazooie is also highlighted for its lush levels and platforming thrills. It's clear the reviewer has a soft spot for these N64 classics, and who can blame them? This page is a full-page advert for Gamester Game Boy accessories from Radica. It features a playful Go Bananas theme with a banana creatively incorporating the Gamester logo. It showcases essential accessories like a wallet, power pack, and link leads. This roundup showcases the diverse Nintendo 64 game library, highlighting both hardware and software. Several racing wheels are reviewed, including the Interact Vortex wheel, Formula Pro Race, and ASC2 wheel, all aiming to enhance the racing experience. Game highlights include a stellar 97% rating for Perfect Dark, praised for its sci-fi adventure akin to GoldenEye. Pokémon Stadium earns a 90% for its 3D Pokémon battles, matched by NFL Quarterback Club 98. Other notable titles are Pilot Wings 64, Premier Manager 64, the Mystical Ninja series, various NBA and NHL games, Quake 2, Nuclear Strike, Operation Winback, and a nostalgic nod to Paperboy. The N64 clearly offered a wide range of experiences, from racing and sports to action and adventure. This page features a fantastic £5 off voucher for any top 10 64 game from Electronics Boutique. What a treat! We also have a sales chart showcasing the latest N64 chart toppers with brief reviews, including the highly rated Perfect Dark, alongside Rainbow Six, Rocky Robot on Wheels, and Ridge Racer 64. Don't miss out on the rental chart with blockbusters like Pokémon Stadium and Super Smash Bros. It's a brilliant glimpse into the N64's best at the time. This page dives into N64 controllers, testing out various third-party options alongside the official Nintendo One. We get a look at the HyperPad Plus, GameStester Basic and Manta Ray, all getting a good going over. Then, it's onto a bumper crop of game reviews, with Super Smash Bros. Scoring a very respectable 90%. We also see Supercross 2000, Tarzan, Rogue Squadron, Shadow Man, South Park Rally, Super Mario 64, and the new Tetris all getting their moment in the spotlight. Rugrats Treasure Hunt, Rush 2, Sarge's Heroes, Scars, Snowboarding, South Park Chef's Love Shack, Starshot, and Tonic Trouble round out the bunch. Some decent scores all around, but it's Super Smash Bros. And Super Mario 64 that really stand out as must-haves. This page is a fantastic full-page advert for Ron's 24 to Watch, a collectible series for Euro 2000, featuring football stars. It highlights game footage, player stats, and profiles, all endorsed by Ron Atkinson. This page is a jam-packed review section from Nintendo Official Magazine, showcasing a whopping 9 Nintendo 64 titles. We've got everything from high-octane racing with International Track and Field, Top Gear Overdrive, and Cheji Rally 2, to the wild world of wrestling in WWF Attitude and WWF Warzone. Get ready for some chunky graphics in Virtual Pool and Worms Armageddon, while Vigilante 8 and Wipeout 64 bring the vehicular mayhem. Plus, there's a peek at World Cup 98, Xena Warrior Princess, and Yoshi's Story among others, offering a snapshot of the N64's diverse library with reviews and player feedback. It seems the reviewers are pretty impressed overall, especially with Zelda taking the top spot at 97%. This page is a full-page advert for the Pokémon Pikachu, a virtual pet device that clips to your belt. It's a friend for life, featuring a pedometer and minigame. This page features a fantastic double-page spread of official tips for Nintendo 64. We've got the lowdown on how to unlock some seriously cool secrets in GoldenEye, like the DK mode for those giant heads and long arms, and the hilarious slow-motion one-player mode. You can even get a new title screen and a secret level where you play as Mr. Blonde. But that's not all, folks. We delve into the wild world of Pokémon Stadium on the Game Boy. Get ready to unlock rare Pokémon by completing challenges, and yes, you can even snag an Amnesia Psyduck and a mythical Mew. The page also gives a bit of a sad update for UK players, mentioning that gallery mode was removed from the PAL version of Stadium due to the lack of snap stations. Seems like our European friends missed out on a bit of the fun there. Overall, a jam-packed page for any serious Nintendo 64 gamer. This page is a goldmine of cheat codes for the Nintendo 64. We kick off with a breakdown of controller icons, so you know your L from your R and your C buttons, then dive straight into Battlezone. You can get infinite ammo and armor for your craft, and even unlock all levels. No more trolling through boring early stages, thank goodness. Next up, we've got Rocket, super duper cheating codes. This section promises a bunch of unlockables for Rocket Robot on wheels, including all vehicles and a secret ticket. Over in the retro corner, we're treated to tips for Asteroids 64, with a special mention of how to unlock the original Asteroids game by shooting a floating green object at level 15. This is a must-have page for any N64 owner looking to spice up their gameplay. This page is a treasure trove of N64 cheats, and it's certainly worth a look. First up, we have the classic shooter Duke Nukem 64, where you can unlock unlimited ammo with a nifty button combination at the title screen. Then it's over to 1080 degrees snowboarding, with a tip to make those early training levels a breeze. We also get a peek at Banjo-Kazooie, with the promise of some excellent rewards if you know the right passwords. Who doesn't love a good cheat for that game? Following that is Jet Force Gemini, where you can unlock the Cyborg Stag character by achieving expert medals on all Floyd missions. And for DK64 fans, there are cheats to unlock the Banana Fairies, bosses, and the cheat menu itself. There's also a section called Use Your Head, hinting at other games with quirky big head modes, and it mentions GoldenEye 007 with a code for DK mode and Duke Nukem 0 Hour for unlocking its big head mode by rescuing all the babes. Finally, we have a level select cheat for Tarzan, letting you warp to any part of the game. It's a fantastic collection of tips to get more out of your N64 library. This page is dedicated to Game Boy Color cheats, featuring tips for cats and dogs to quickly acquire new pets. There's also a section on Tarzan with level select codes, including 3123 for Jungle is My Playground and 0045 for I'm No Second Banana. The page also includes a massive list of cheats for over 3,000 games across various consoles, including N64, PC, and PlayStation. It's a veritable cheat code Bible for gamers looking to get the most out of their titles. This page is packed with tips and tricks for Nintendo gamers. First up, we've got some cracking advice for Pokémon Stadium, including how to unlock new title screens, backgrounds, and even a tricky kids club setting. Following that, we dive into the world of WWF WrestleMania 2000, with a detailed breakdown of how to create your own Dudley Boyz wrestlers. It's a real treat for fans of both games, offering some serious replay value. The next page is dedicated to the Masters, your go-to experts for all things Nintendo. We've got a cracking Pokémon Stadium tip for unlocking new, and Rocket Robot on Wheels will sort out your part-finding woes. If you're struggling with Zelda, Ocarina of Time, there's some handy advice on carrying things and catching cuckoos. Plus there's a guide to GoldenEye's Predator mode and a South Park football strategy. And don't forget to write in with your own tips for a chance to win some top Nintendo gear. It's all about keeping those games fresh and fun. This page showcases your scores, featuring the champions of various Nintendo 64 challenges. We see the winning times and scores for Pokémon Stadium Mega Challenge, GoldenEye 007, and LEGO Racers, with names like Nuri Budar, Alex Jensen, and Colin Katmer taking the top spots. There's also a look at the challenges for Tag Rally 2, Poké Stadium, Ridge Racer 64, and Track and Field, complete with screenshots and handy tips from the magazine's expert gamers. It's a celebration of skill and dedication from the Nintendo community. This page is all about the Mega Challenge for Donkey Kong 64, and boy is it a big one. Rare, the geniuses behind the game, are challenging us to achieve new high scores. There's a list of the current top scorers, and while they're good, they're clearly not as good as us, are they? We're also told how to enter, which involves taking photos or videos of your best scores. Apparently, Donkey Kong himself is watching, so no funny business. We also get a glimpse of the rare Mega Challenge, which involves swimming through hoops in On Guard's arena. Plus, there's an extended deadline for entries, so if you haven't submitted yours yet, now's your chance. The page finishes with a look at the Mega Final, where only the top 4 contenders will battle it out. Better start practicing your Donkey Kong 64 skills, folks. This guide focuses on mastering Perfect Dark's challenging agent difficulty. Success relies on strategic weapon. Use rapid-fire options like the laptop gun are useful early on, but ammo is limited, so save powerful weapons for later, tougher levels. Accuracy is key. Adjusting your crosshair is recommended. Stealth is crucial. The guide emphasizes observing guard patterns, luring them into traps, and utilizing precise timing for attacks. Level navigation requires thorough exploration. Bloodstains indicate alternate routes, and hidden clues are vital. The guide also covers completing objectives and mini-missions necessary for progression. Overall, it's a comprehensive resource designed to help players navigate the game's complexities and become proficient, Perfect Dark agents. This page is dedicated to helping you navigate the treacherous halls of Datadyne Central in Perfect Dark. It breaks down 2 key mission areas: Datadyne Central Defection and Datadyne Research Investigation. For the defection, the objective is to locate a secure lift to the basement lab where Drive Carol is being held. The guide walks you through finding this lift, detailing paths and guard avoidance. It features screenshots numbered 1 through 6, illustrating your progress. The research investigation requires you to find Drive Carol, with a focus on his location in the last of 4 sectors. This section also uses numbered screenshots, 1 through 6, to guide you through obtaining an isotope, evading guards, and eventually locating Drive Carol. The guide emphasizes using the CamSpy and being quick on your feet. Then, we switch gears to Datadyne Central Extraction, where the goal is to get Drive Carol to safety. This involves dealing with Cassandra DeVry's bodyguards, securing an evacuation route, and ensuring Drive Carol makes it to your dropship. The numbered screenshots here show you how to achieve these objectives, including using night vision and grabbing a rocket launcher. It's a bit of a race against time, so stay sharp. This page offers a cracking guide to 2 missions in Perfect Dark, Carrington Villa and Chicago Stealth. For Carrington Villa, it's all about rescuing your kidnapped boss, Joe, with a clear breakdown of objectives and helpful screenshots guiding you from sniping baddies to finding your way through the villa. Then, we're off to Chicago Stealth, where you need to infiltrate a Datadyne building. The mission involves grabbing some drop point equipment, a bit of taxi reprogramming, and then a dash into the building itself. The walkthrough highlights the importance of using your surroundings and keeping a low profile, with plenty of visual aids to make sure you don't get caught. It's a solid guide for any agent looking to make short work of these levels. This page offers an essential guide to navigating 2 tricky missions in Perfect Dark, G5 Building Reconnaissance and Area 51 Infiltration. For G5, the objective is to gather evidence of a secret meeting, with a walkthrough detailing how to use your CamSpy, retrieve backup data, and make a daring escape. The screenshots show you how to deal with invisible guards and find your way through the building, giving you the upper hand. Then, we dive into Area 51, where a crashed UFO needs investigating. You'll be shutting down air interceptors, gaining access to the hangar via a keycard, and making contact with the elusive Carrington agent. The guide emphasizes using the environment for cover and tackling the drones head-on, ensuring you complete your clandestine mission. It's a masterclass in stealth and combat for any budding counter-espionage operative. This page provides a walkthrough for 2 missions in Perfect Dark, Area 51 Rescue and Area 51 Escape. For Area 51 Rescue, the objectives are to obtain a technician disguise, gain access to the autopsy lab, and rescue an alien. The guide breaks down the mission into numbered steps with accompanying screenshots, illustrating how to navigate the area, acquire the disguise, and ultimately save the alien. It seems like a fairly straightforward infiltration and rescue mission, as long as you don't get spotted, which is always the challenge in Perfect Dark, isn't it? The Area 51 Escape section focuses on getting the alien, affectionately known as Elvis, out of the facility. The objectives here involve finding Jonathan, gaining entry to a secret hangar, and then making your escape with the alien. The numbered steps and images detail how to proceed through various areas, including a laboratory and an outside walkway, while dealing with guards. There's a bit of advice on using specific weapons like the Super Dragon, which is always a handy tip. It looks like a more action-packed escape, trying to get out with your newfound extraterrestrial friend before the military catches up. Classic stuff. This page delves into 2 crucial missions from Perfect Dark, Airbase Espionage and Air Force One Anti-Terrorism. For Airbase Espionage, the mission involves a daring infiltration to rescue the president from Trent Easton's clutches. The objectives are clear: obtain a disguise, disable the security system, and then board Air Force One. The walkthrough, complete with images, guides players through these steps, emphasizing the need for stealth and quick action, especially when dealing with those pesky guards. It's a classic espionage setup, requiring you to be as slippery as a greased eel. The second part, Air Force One Anti-Terrorism, is equally thrilling, focusing on locating the president on board the presidential aircraft and thwarting Trent's nefarious plans. The objectives here include finding the president, getting him to an escape pod, and detaching a UFO. The numbered steps and screenshots are essential for navigating the plane, dealing with Trent's cronies, the Mr. Blondes as it were, and ensuring the president makes it out alive. It certainly sounds like a tense, close-quarters battle, and you'll need to be on your toes to succeed. This page offers a comprehensive guide to 2 challenging missions from Perfect Dark, Crash Site Confrontation and Pelagic 2 Exploration. For Crash Site Confrontation, the walkthrough details how to rescue the president and deal with a cloned replica, guiding players through various stages with numbered images. It seems like a bit of a wild goose chase, trying to distinguish the real president from the fakes while dodging guards and navigating treacherous terrain. The Pelagic 2 Exploration section also presents a set of objectives, focusing on disabling power sources and deactivating a GPS system, with Elvis proving to be a useful, if unusual, companion. The guide offers step-by-step instructions, complete with screenshots, to navigate the underwater facility and rendezvous with your team. It sounds like a rather damp and dangerous affair, with plenty of guards to contend with and environmental hazards to overcome. It's all part of the job for Joanna Dark, I suppose. This page delves into two more intense missions from Perfect Dark: Deep Sea Nullify Threat and Carrington Institute Defense. For Deep Sea Nullify Threat, the mission objectives are to reactivate teleporters, disable a mega weapon with Elvis's help, and escape the Citan ship. The walkthrough uses a series of screenshots to guide you through the underwater vessel, emphasizing the use of the IR scanner to detect cloaked guards and protecting Elvis while he works on a console. It seems like a good old-fashioned infiltration, with a bit of sabotage thrown in for good measure. Carrington Institute Defense presents a slightly different challenge, with objectives to release hostages, retrieve an experimental weapon, and deactivate a bomb. The guide walks you through engaging guards, utilizing a powerful new gun, and strategically dealing with the Institute's defenses. There's a real sense of urgency here, trying to stop the Skidar before they cause too much trouble. It's a classic case of saving the day, I suppose, with plenty of sci-fi action to keep you on your toes. This page dives into two more missions for Perfect Dark: Attack Ship Covert Assault and Skedar Ruins Battle Shrine. For the attack ship, the objectives involve disabling a shield system, accessing navigation, and taking control of the bridge, with your partner Cassandra being key to your escape. The guide details using your knife to fend off early Skedar threats and navigating through the ship's various sections. The Skedar Ruins section is more about planetary assault, with goals to identify targets, activate a target amplifier on 3 obelisks, and assassinate the Skedar leader. This walkthrough guides you through navigating alien architecture, dealing with Skedar enemies armed with maulers, and using a grenade to open up new paths, all leading to a final confrontation. It looks like a real challenge, especially with those Skedar sneaky tactics. This page is a massive advert for closetgamer.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all things gaming cheats. They're offering thousands of cheats, walkthroughs, free demos, and even a place to trade old games. Plus, you can win a Sega Dreamcast and other cool prizes by playing their instant win games. This page features the Club Mario section, where the magazine staff answer reader mail and comments. We see Sean and Rich looking rather chuffed with themselves, holding a N64 and a controller. There's a reader asking about the release of Operation Winback, and the possibility of a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game, to which Sean responds with a hint about Super Mario 64's voice. Another reader suggests Nintendo should make a DVD-playing console, and Rich chimes in with his thoughts on the Pokémon movie. Simon Tanner shares some rather amusing Nintendo anagrams, and James Higson asks about a potential renaming of Mario to Martin. The page also includes a Mario's winner section where Michael Patterson lists his top 3 games: Zelda, Premier Manager 64, and Jet Force Gemini. It's a lively mix of reader interaction and gaming gossip, all delivered with that classic Nintendo official magazine charm. This page is all about Ask Rare, where Uncle Tusk, Rare's wonderfully rude spokesperson, answers reader questions. It's a classic. We've got questions about the Nintendo Dolphin, character designs for games like Diddy Kong Racing, and even whether Mickey's Speedway USA will have adventure elements. Rich and Sean are chiming in with their usual bluntness, making sure no one gets too comfortable. There's also a Mario's Hotline section, inviting readers to vent their gaming gripes, and it looks like someone's already got a good one in about Mewtwo. Plus, we've got a winner announcement for a brilliant 64 game suggestion. It's a proper look at what gamers were talking about back then. This page is a fantastic look into the reader mailbag for Club Mario, featuring a Mario's hit list of questions that fans are eager to discuss. We've got discussions ranging from Rare's best game and improvements in Banjo-Kazooie, to the anticipation for Pokémon Yellow and thoughts on Conker's new look. There's also a brilliant winner announcement for a fantastic Perfect Dark release date comment, and a fun mention of Raichu's Thundershock attack. The Your Email section provides essential rules for submitting mail, ensuring everyone plays nicely. Plus, we get some more reader opinions on games like Tarzan and Digimon, and a rather cheeky request for a murder mystery game set in Peach's castle. It's all very much the spirit of getting involved and sharing those gaming passions. This page is a battle royale for the ages, as 2 young trainers, Harry and Pip, go head-to-head in a Pokémon showdown. We're treated to a How It Works section that details how you can submit your own gaming rivalries to the magazine, with the promise of N64 goodies for the winners. The main event features Pip's tough Ice Beam attack that takes out Harry's Venusaur, followed by a comeback from Harry's Raichu which eventually falls to Pip's Mewtwo. It's a nail-biting match with Pip emerging victorious, though Harry seems to take it in good spirits, proving they're still best mates off the battlefield. And for those keeping score, Pip secured a copy of Pokémon Stadium, a rather nice prize indeed. This page is absolutely brimming with Pokémon goodness. We've got the iconic trio of Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Charmander front and center, alongside the rather majestic Mew, announcing its arrival in the UK and a chance to win one. There's also a section dedicated to a Pokemaniac of the month, showcasing an incredible collection of Pokémon memorabilia. Plus, we get a glimpse into the Pokémart with a snazzy Pikachu kite. Perfect for those summer holidays, don't you think? The Quest Continues section features some impressive trainer squads from David Riley and Daniel Deboham, and Achilles Orphides, who are all proving their mettle in the Pokémon League. It's a proper celebration of all things Pokémon, from winning the rarest of creatures to building the ultimate team. This page is a fantastic dive into Poké Art. We're treated to some truly unique fan art, including a Gengar vs Jigglypuff battle, and another Gengar causing chaos with its hypnosis attack. There's also a Gengar looking rather pleased with itself in sunglasses, and a Gengar ready for action against a Voltorb. The mag even gives us a guide on how to draw Raichu, with some helpful steps to get you started on your own masterpiece. Plus, we get a peek at the magazine's staff, a proper lineup of who's who behind the scenes at Nintendo Official Magazine. It's a real treat for any Pokémon fan who loves to get creative. This page chronicles a rather epic trip to Japan for a group of 17 lucky Pokémon fans, all thanks to Nintendo. We see them jetting off on a Pikachu emblazoned anaplane, and frankly, they look as excited as the giant Pikachu mascot accompanying them. The article details their adventures, including a trip to the Pokémon Center, where they snagged some goodies, and even got to see the first official UK Mews handed out. There's also a mention of a Pokémon International Championship, though it seems our UK contenders were a bit outmatched. And if that wasn't enough, there's a competition to win some rather cool Pokémon backpacks and watches, so get your thinking caps on. This page is a fantastic competition to win one of 100 official Mews, a truly legendary Pokémon. It explains how to get your hands on one of these elusive creatures, detailing that they come with a special UK serial number, and, crucially, anything without one is a fake. We're told, the Mew Download Roadshow starts in mid-July, and will definitely have dates and venues next issue. To snag one, you'll need to visit a Mew event with your team of 6, and ensure you have Professor Oak's Mews downloaded onto your cart. Gold badge winners from the Pokémon Tour are guaranteed Mews, which is pretty neat. The closing date for this competition is the 10th of July 2000, so don't delay. This page is all about the Pokémon Tour 2000, featuring the title, Pokémadness Continues. It tells the tale of Dave's trip to Japan to collect Mew download machines, with Rich and Tim stepping in to challenge Pokémaniacs across the country. The text describes how Mew was fired up and thirsty for action, showing no mercy in battles. The page also showcases some of the action with a collage of photos, kids playing on Game Boys, a crowd gathered around tables, and a group of boys in the background with a tower in the distance. This page details the Pokémon Tour 2000, showcasing the competitive spirit at the Waltham Leisure Centre in Sheffield and the Crystal Palace in London. We get to see Tim, a nom-favourite, in action, although the reviewer humorously notes his defeat and suggests he needs some training. There's also a mention of other victors, like Sean Ledang and Scott Adams, along with a young Luciano Roman and Stefan Edwards who clearly had a blast. The page captures the excitement of the events with photos of enthusiastic participants and the iconic Game Boy. It's a great snapshot of the Pokémon craze back in the day. This page dives into the Pokémon Tour's Leicester and Newcastle legs. Master Rich absolutely dominated in Leicester, proving his Mewtwo is the undisputed king. Over in Newcastle, Dave was on fire, his Mewtwo proving an unstoppable monster, with the Birmingham date even covered in the Newcastle Evening News. It highlights the fierce competition and the pure joy of the Pokémon fanbase. We also see Liverpool's challengers, where Dave's Mewtwo was clearly too powerful for them, with Stephen King, Paul Blundell, and Jack Chen emerging as the victors. Ian Muldy and Robert Ellison were also spotted, along with Norman Chen, all caught up in the Pokémon fever. It's a fantastic glimpse into the competitive Pokémon scene of the time. This page covers the Pokémon Tour stops in Aston Villa, Birmingham and Manchester. Birmingham was the setting for Dave's dominance, with his Mewtwo proving too strong for most, although only 20 managed to beat him. The article highlights the struggles of players like Paul Roberts and Alistair Mackey, who were frozen solid by Dave's blizzard. Meanwhile, Manchester saw a packed forum centre with many Pokemaniacs enjoying the day. The text also mentions a hopeful note for future events, encouraging readers to keep training, to be ready for the next wave of Pokemon action. The Nintendo official magazine logo is also visible, confirming its origin. This page is a competition extravaganza called Blagfest. We've got a fantastic lineup of goodies to win. First up, it's 5 copies of The Simpsons, Raiders of the Lost Fridge video, perfect for any fan of Springfield's finest. Then, we're giving away 5 Star Wars Episode I Adventures books, and 5 Buffy the Vampire Slayer books, courtesy of Titan Books. For the gamers, there's a chance to snag a red N64 console, and 5 copies of Operation Winback from Virgin Interactive. And if you're into wrestling, you could win 10 Maximum Sweat figures, which are apparently quite amusing to fill with water. Each prize comes with a question to test your fan knowledge. The How to Win section clearly outlines the simple postcard entry process. It's a proper treat for Nintendo fans, offering a bit of everything. This page is a fantastic full-page advert for the Nintendo store, featuring a rather intense stare-down between 2 blokes, probably arguing about whose Pokemon is superior. It's all about the 100% Nintendo shopping experience, with mentions of Nintendo 64, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color, alongside a handy list of what you can expect to find, like hardware, software, and of course, Pokemon. Honestly, you can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned gaming debate, can you? This page features the magnificent Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. We're talking about a brand new 3D adventure, released in October 2000, where Link has to race against time to stop Skull Kid from smashing the moon. You'll need your wits and sword skills to save the day, and thankfully, Link can use different masks to gain powers from other races. The magazine promises gorgeous worlds, amazing baddies, and hilarious games, so it sounds like an absolute must-play. Plus, we get a sneak peek at an E3 special, covering all the awesome Nintendo games on display. And just look at those graphics in the screenshot, mind-blowing! This page delves into the enigmatic evil one of The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. It kicks off with Link's unfortunate encounter with the Skull Kid, who, after stealing the Ocarina of Time, makes a swift escape on Link's trusty steed, Epona. Link's pursuit leads him tumbling into a mysterious underground lair. The page highlights 4 key moments, showing Link's predicament after being transformed into a Deku Scrub by the Skull Kid's magic. It also hints at the challenge of navigating platforms using magical flowers. This seems to be a preview of Link's quest to retrieve the Ocarina and save Termina, all while a looming moon threatens to crash down. This page is all about unlocking Link's new powers in The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. We've got the lowdown on 3 essential masks, Deku Scrub, Goron, and Zora. Each one grants Link unique abilities, like gliding as a Deku Scrub, rolling into a ball as a Goron to smash through obstacles, and swimming with great speed as a Zora. The page also touches on the game's core mechanic, a ticking clock that limits Link's time. It seems you've only got 3 days before doom strikes, and when midnight hits on the last day, you've got a mere 6 minutes to find the Skull Kid or face a rather explosive end with the moon crashing down. There's also a peek at a hide-and-seek challenge where you need to catch a bunch of kids, and it sounds like a real brain tickler. Finally, the reviewer is convinced Majora's Mask is going to be a classic, praising its puzzles and combat. This page is an advert for the Perfect Dark Master Guide, released on the 30th of June 2000. It promises to provide all the information you'll ever need on the game, including tips for all difficulties, multiplayer mastery, the story's build-up, rare games, posters, and unseen pictures of Joanna. It's brought to you by the experts at Nintendo official magazine, The Masters. This page showcases the much-anticipated Mickey Speedway USA for the Nintendo 64. It's a vibrant car racer, promising more rare magic, totally awesome circuits, and gorgeous graphics. You'll be racing as your favorite Disney characters like Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Minnie through iconic US locations, including what looks like a fantastic New York City street circuit and a cheeky nod to the Statue of Liberty. The reviewer notes it's more akin to Mario Kart 64 than Diddy Kong Racing, with 5 Grand Prix worlds, each featuring 4 tracks. Plus, there's a cool 4-player mode. They also tease a secret power start technique, which sounds intriguing. It's shaping up to be a real treat for Disney fans and racing enthusiasts alike. The next page features Mega Man 64, a new 3D shooter for the Nintendo 64, set to be released in November. The game promises a vast 3D world for players to explore as Mega Man, with a focus on battling tough enemies and bosses to find the hidden legacy treasure. It's a port of the PlayStation's Mega Man 8, with a fresh coat of paint and some gameplay tweaks, including RPG elements and a time attack mode. The reviewer seems cautiously optimistic, hoping the N64 version will offer enough extra content to justify the wait. There are also screenshots of Mega Man in action, battling some rather odd-looking robots, and a brief mention of an upcoming kart racer from Rare, which sounds like it could be Mickey's Speedway USA, based on the previous page. This page dives headfirst into the world of Paper Mario, a game that's apparently far from flat. It's a sharp-looking RPG, with turn-based battles that sound rather engaging, featuring special attacks and even the ability to befriend other characters. The visuals are described as crazy graphics, and the gameplay blends familiar Mario platforming elements with a more RPG-oriented structure, which is quite an interesting mix. We see Mario and Luigi heading into a castle, Mario wielding a hammer against a formidable foe, and a glimpse of a snowy landscape with those iconic question mark blocks. The reviewer's thoughts are pretty positive, hoping this title will be a hit for all ages, given Nintendo's usually stellar track record with Mario games. Then, we switch gears entirely to Rugrats in Paris, a game aimed at a younger audience. It boasts 16 levels and minigames, including a bumper cars mode. The reviewer notes that Kimmy, a character from the new blockbuster movie, makes an exclusive appearance. We get a look at some target shooting by the Eiffel Tower, and some smash and grab action on a rink. This page is a full-page advert for a Nintendo competition offering a host of gaming goodies, from Sega Dreamcasts and PlayStation 2s to Nintendo 64s and £150 worth of games. This page is all about Dinosaur Planet, a spectacular adventure from Rare, set to hit shelves in February 2001. It looks like a real contender, with amazing environments, fierce bosses and, of course, comical sidekicks. The game centers on two heroes, Saber and Crystal, embarking on a quest to restore peace to a war-torn planet. The gameplay mechanics are reminiscent of Zelda, with a lock-on system and item assignment to C buttons. What's really intriguing is the absence of on-screen text. Characters communicate directly, creating a more immersive, realistic world. Plus, the game features real-time weather and day-night cycles, adding another layer of depth. We get a glimpse of the action with screenshots, showing our heroes navigating diverse landscapes, from lush forests to icy terrains. It seems like this epic adventure is packed with challenges, and you'll definitely need to be on your toes to overcome them. The sidekicks, Tricky and Kylie, are also highlighted as being incredibly helpful. It's shaping up to be a must-play. This page dives into the boss battles of Dinosaur Planet, highlighting how Rare has truly outdone themselves with these encounters. We see a massive scorpion boss, described as one of the most ferocious they've encountered, capable of draining your health with poisonous gases. Luckily, its weak spot is its tail, so dodging its fiery attacks and striking there is key. Another screenshot shows Crystal battling a monstrous creature, with the reviewer advising players to dodge poison fireballs and get in quick attacks to survive. The page also praises Rare's ability to create a classic RPG feel, even jokingly warning Link to watch out as Crystal and Saber might be after his crown. It finishes with a nudge to check out the Zelda, Majora's Mask review on page 74. This page is all about Scooby-Doo Classic Creep for the N64, and it sounds like a real treat for fans. We're told the game features the coolest cartoon canine, Scooby-Doo, bounding onto the N64. You'll be joining Scooby, Shaggy, Fred, Daphne and Velma as they creep through 4 spooky episodes, uncovering mysteries. Each stage is packed with puzzles, haunting baddies, and of course, plenty of Scooby snacks. Even better, it boasts all the original voice actors from the TV adventures, so it'll truly feel like you're playing in a cartoon. The camera angles and lighting are designed to create extra suspense, and there's even a brand new episode for the Game Boy Color coming out later this year. The game is based on the original lineup, and we can expect to see Scrappy-Doo making an appearance. The Black Knight and the Snow Ghost are confirmed villains, and the final adventure promises Scooby's toughest enemy yet. It's great to see the whole gang is here, though the reviewer does point out that Scrappy-Doo, the annoying puppy, won't be in this one. Looks like a fantastic adventure for any Scooby-Doo fan. This page is all about Duck Dodgers for the Nintendo 64. It sounds like a fantastic sci-fi adventure, where Daffy Duck, as Duck Dodgers, must save Earth from Marvin the Martian. You'll be exploring 5 action-packed levels, battling baddies, and collecting power-ups like the Acme rocket. The game looks like it offers a good challenge, with some impressive graphics and a variety of gameplay. It also features an update on a character that looks suspiciously like a snowman, and another screenshot shows duck dodgers in a cosmic setting. The review mentions Taz Express, a separate game, and says it's shaping up to be even better than anticipated, with great graphics and challenges. This page delves into the world of Nintendo's upcoming titles, starting with a hefty dose of The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons for the Game Boy Color. It's shaping up to be quite the adventure, with Link venturing through Hyrule, facing Ganondorf's scattered Triforce and temporal meddling. We even get a peek at some quirky features, like Link riding around in a kangaroo's pouch. The article then shifts focus to Batman Beyond for the N64, promising a thrilling experience as Batman takes on the Joker's cronies in Gotham. It sounds like a proper action-packed romp with boss battles and cool gadgets. On the fast news front, we hear whispers about a bizarre title called Catroots, which sounds like a cat-and-mouse chase game. More importantly, it's confirmed that mini races won't be coming to the N64, which is a bit of a bummer given the developer has apparently shut down. However, there's good news for Bond fans as multiplayer modes for the world is not enough are unveiled, including Flag Tag and Team Deathmatch. Finally, we get a glimpse of Gadget Go-Go, a platformer where you play as Inspector Gadget, Penny, and Brain, using all sorts of cool gadgets to save the day. It all sounds like a rather exciting collection of games to look forward to. This page is a massive advert for Wickedware, showcasing a huge range of Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color games and accessories. We've got everything from Pokémon Stadium and its transfer pack, to the very cool-looking Perfect Dark and even some action figures for the Pokémon franchise. There's also a fantastic offer on the Game Boy Color itself, plus all sorts of essential accessories like rumble packs and link cables. It's a proper treasure trove for any Nintendo fan looking to expand their collection, with prices that make you want to grab your wallet straight away. This page is a deep dive into Eternal Darkness for the Nintendo 64. We're treated to some stunning screenshots showcasing the game's gothic atmosphere and what looks like some truly terrifying creature designs, including a rather unsettling collection of eyeballs and tentacles. The review highlights the game's blockbusting story and scares and gore galore, promising a real challenge for players. It sounds like a truly original and scary experience, with a time-traveling plot that spans 2,000 years and features 13 playable characters. The reviewer is particularly impressed by the visuals, calling the church windows absolutely stunning, and get this, it even has an insanity meter. If that drops too low, you'll be experiencing terrifying waking nightmares. Spooky indeed. This page is all about Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine for the Nintendo 64. We see Indy himself, looking as dashing as ever, leaping across treacherous gaps, and exploring some rather ancient-looking ruins. The game promises a grand adventure, taking us from snowy wastes to sun-scorched pyramids, with plenty of tough baddies to dispatch. It's a third-person adventure that sounds like it'll keep you on the edge of your seat, just like the films. The reviewer is particularly impressed with the game's visuals, describing the locations as absolutely amazing and damned spooky. They're also excited about the weapons and the overall seat-gripping gameplay. Looks like Indy's whip and trusty pistol are back in action. This page is a massive advert for Gameplay.com, featuring everything you need for your Nintendo 64, PlayStation, and Dreamcast. They've got consoles galore, tons of games, accessories like the joypad extender and memory cards, plus hint books, and even some rather quirky cool furniture for your gaming room. It's a veritable smorgasbord of gaming goodness, with prices that'll make your wallet sing. Get ready to fill your boots, and don't forget to ring them up for their free catalog. This page is a glorious deep dive into Donald Duck, Quack Attack for the Nintendo 64, and let me tell you, it looks like a proper platforming romp. We're talking a traditional Disney plot, with Donald having to rescue Daisy from the evil Murloc, but with a twist, his love rival Gladstone is also in the mix. The gameplay sounds like a fun blend of 2D and 3D elements, with Donald unleashing punches and kicks when calm, and going full berserk when he's raging. Apparently, there are 24 stages across 4 worlds, packed with goodies and baddies, and the graphics are supposedly stunning and true to the cartoons. We also get a couple of quick news snippets. Mario Party 2 and Excite Bike 64 have been delayed until September, which is a bit of a bummer, but at least they're keeping up with demand for Pokémon Stadium and Perfect Dark. And for movie fans, Disney's Dinosaur is coming to the N64, featuring teamwork between dinosaurs and a meteor threat. Sounds like a prehistoric adventure. Finally, there's a quick mention of a women's football game for the N64, a remake of Michael Owen's World League Soccer 2000, which has apparently been tweaked for easier play. Plus, a look at Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, which seems to be a kid-friendly affair with Zords and monster hunting. Overall, a solid page for Nintendo fans. This page showcases the upcoming Nintendo 64 title, Hey You Pikachu! It's your chance to finally talk to a Pokémon, and this game promises an interactive experience, where you'll be using your voice to communicate with Pikachu. The article highlights how you can build a friendship with your virtual pal, but be warned, if you upset him, he might just unleash a Thundershock attack. Beyond the core interaction, there are mini-adventures where you'll help out other Pokémon, like babysitting Caterpies, or finding lost Poliwhirls. The game sounds like a unique and charming addition to the N64 library, though the price point is a bit steep at $90 in America, with a potential £90 price tag for the UK release. It's certainly an ambitious concept, and we're eager to see how it all plays out. This page dives into Pokémon Puzzle League for the Nintendo 64, a game that sounds like it'll have you hooked with its addictive gameplay and cool combos. It's basically Tetris Attack, but with all your favorite Pokémon, which is a pretty brilliant idea, if you ask me. You'll be lining up 3 or more colored tiles to make them disappear, and if you're clever, you can set off chain reactions to really mess with your opponent. The screenshots show familiar faces like Pikachu, and a rather grumpy-looking Arbok, so you know it's going to be authentic. The game also lets you pick your Pokémon, and the reviewer seems particularly taken with Sweet Little Pikachu. It looks like a proper brain teaser, and with a November release, it's definitely one to keep an eye on if you enjoy a good puzzle. The page also gives a little nod to interacting with other Pokémon, like Bulbasaur, so it's not just about matching blocks. Overall, it sounds like a game that might be a bit pricey, but one that will keep you entertained for ages. This page brings us news and previews of some cracking N64 titles. First up, we have Roswell Conspiracies, an action-adventure game where you play as Nick Logan battling aliens. The Game Boy Color version is also highlighted, with screenshots showing off its gameplay and environments. Then, the spotlight shifts to WWF No Mercy, promising a massive roster and punishing attacks, with Triple H even making an appearance. The reviewer is clearly excited, calling it the best of the bunch, and a wrestle fan's dream. Finally, we get a peek at Ready 2 Rumble Boxing Round 2, hyping up its improved championship mode, new fighters like Shaquille O'Neal and Michael Jackson, and the all-important Rumble meter. It sounds like a real knockout. This page is a full-page advert for King Cat Entertainment, a mail-order video game retailer. They offer a wide range of games for Nintendo 64, Game Boy, and other consoles, including Pokémon titles, plus accessories and merchandise. They also promote their website for online purchases and prize giveaways. This page is the cover of Nintendo Official Magazine UK, and it's a cracking preview of what's to come next month, with a massive focus on Nintendo 64 and the WWF. We're promised the biggest and best, with features on all the latest Nintendo 64 games and the most shots of new games. Plus, there's a huge feature on WWF No Mercy, promising top wrestlers, awesome fight intros, devastating attacks, and ferocious finishing moves. It also highlights upcoming games like Mario Tennis and World Is Not Enough, along with reviews for DK Country and Blues Brothers 2000. And don't forget, there are game guides and cheat codes too. Essential stuff. This page is absolutely bursting with F1 racing action for the Nintendo 64, with the headline F1 Racing Championship taking center stage. We're promised that they'll show you everything you need to know, from all the tracks to mastering cornering techniques and how to actually win the darn thing. On top of that, there's a rather fetching Game Boy Color in the corner, enticing us with the promise of getting the most out of our handhelds with a must-have mini-mag. And, to top it all off, we've got a glimpse of some other gaming goodness, with tips for Perfect Dark multiplayer and Pokémon Stadium, plus some cheeky codes and cheats for what looks like a Looney Tunes game. It's all rather exciting, really. This page is a fantastic quiz for all you hardcore Nintendo fans out there, testing your knowledge across 3 rounds. We've got general knowledge with 10 tricky questions, a Name That Game section featuring some iconic N64 titles with screenshots, and Talkin' Nintendo, where you'll need to match famous quotes to the characters. Plus, there's a chance to win some copies of Perfect Dark by answering the big question. Sounds like a proper challenge. This page is a cracking full-page advert for Turok Rage Wars and Duke Nukem 64 for the Nintendo 64, plus Duke Nukem for Game Boy Color, all with a special offer. This page is a full-page advert for Perfect Dark on the Nintendo 64, announcing its release on June 30th. It details a competition to win Game Boy packs, a Game Boy, and a transfer pack, encouraging players to pick up a leaflet in-store. The advert also features the iconic, dangerously entertaining tagline,